Good afternoon and welcome to a quick episode of My Fiber Fun. You guys, I made a crucial error in the crochet along tutorial for the watermelon bag, and this video right here is to correct that error that I made. Okay, I am filming this on Thursday, July the 10th. And so this video will be posted up on Saturday so that you will know in advance the correction that needs to be made. I have finished the bag with the exception of the straps last night. And I looked at the bag and I said, something does not look right. I made a mistake, you guys. First of all, the yarn that I purchased, which was the loops and thread, it's a wee bit thinner than the yarn that I used on my original watermelon bag. So I counted the rows of the base from my bag that I already had, and that totaled to 14 rows. Well, with the loops and thread, with that yarn being a little bit thinner, 14 rows was incorrect, okay? So, and I just kept going and going and going, and then once I finished with the watermelon portion, I said, this doesn't look right. I could not see the bottom of the base because you want to see the 3 colors at the bottom as well as the top of the bag. And so I knew I needed to add more rows in order to get the effect, the correct effect. And so I had you guys to stop after completing row 14 of the darker green. And then I had you to change colors and then, moving on. Well, I need you to add 5 more rows to that. Instead of stopping on the video, you're going to hear me say to change colors after you complete row 14. But instead, I want you to change colors after you complete row 19. So just know to add 5 more rows and you will get the perfect effect. I had to frog all of the watermelon portion. I had to frog the white, and I also had to frog the lighter green. And I had to go right back and add to that base. And so I'll show you, because I did show you a sneak peek on yesterday. And on the sneak peek, you saw all 3 colors. Well, as I went along and the bag began to take its form and everything, once I finished and I lifted the bag, I could not see the darker green at the bottom. So that's why I went so far before making the correction, because you would think that that's something I should have discovered right off the top, but it was just after I continued on with the bag and it got tighter and everything. Now, the second mistake that I made, actually it's not a mistake, it's just an adjustment. After we got through with the white, I had you to okay, come on, Q, talk. That's the MS, y'all. I had you to decrease for the first row of the excuse me of the watermelon color, the peach or whatever color, well, watermelon. I had you to decrease after every 10 stitches. Well, I changed my mind, you guys, because after I frogged and I did the other 2 colors, I am just now finishing row 1 of the watermelon, and I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. First of all, you can see all 3 colors at the bottom, and you can see where I've started the watermelon. I'm not going to have you to decrease. I think this is the perfect size. And it's actually going to pull in as we crochet along. It's going to pull in, and so it's not going to get larger, but it's also not going to get too much smaller. And this is the perfect size. So we're going to do our rows just like this, and then we will decrease when we get to the top of the bag to pull it in. Because remember, on that video, you will see that you're going to need the size H hook to begin it. And then our last few rows are going to be done with the size G hook. And that's what will pull it in. We still may not even need to decrease then. We'll see. But But you'll see, you know, I haven't finished that portion. And wait a minute. Uh-oh. I think I just made a mistake, y'all. Wait, hold on. Woo, thank God. Nope, I didn't. I thought I was crocheting with the size G. No, this is the size G. Okay, whew. Lord, if I would have had to take this down again. Okay, so, yeah, so I'm going to have you, in the video, you're going to hear me say decrease for that first row of the watermelon color. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just keep going round and around and around. And we will decrease towards the end. And like I said, we may not even need to do it then. This yarn is the type of yarn because it's so different from the yarn that I used. And when I make bags, sometimes I have to decrease, and then sometimes the yarn is just so perfect that you can just go around and around and never have to decrease because it adjusts itself, it regulates itself. And so I think this is the perfect yarn, this Caron All Day Cotton. As well, I actually enjoyed working with the loops and threads too, for the bottom and the base of the bag, and to begin it. It's the perfect, I think these three yarns are the perfect combination. Of course, y'all know I use the DIY Glow for the white. But I just think that these, not the textures, but the weights of the yarn, although they're 4-weight, they're kind of different. You know, 4-weight yarns run differently, but these are perfect for bag making. Every last one of these yarns are perfect for bag making, and the way that it's settling, I don't think there's going to need to be a decrease at all. And you will see as we go along with the bag, and so will I. And so anyway, if there's going to be a decrease before we start the strap, I will have you to do a decrease row, but I doubt that that's going to even happen. So anyway, that's it, you guys. So I'll leave it at that. Just know, to recap, just know, after row 14, do 5 more rows. So your base is going to be a total of 19 rows, okay? Just know that. So if you watch this video, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put in big bold or big letters, please watch, and then I will title it Watermelon Bag Info or something of that nature. I'm gonna post it 2 days before the crochet along is posted up, and then we will begin, and you'll just know to make those 2 adjustments. You're gonna add 5 rows. I'm repeating myself one more time. You're gonna add 5 rows to the base, which is the darker green. Just add 5 more rows after I stop you to go to the second color. Don't do it. Just add 5 more rows and then follow the tutorial the way that it's instructed. And then when you get to the first row of the watermelon color, I'm going to have you to decrease. Scratch that. Don't do it. Just keep going around and around. So that's saving you time right there. And then it's going to be autopilot. It's going to go fast. And as you can see how far I've gotten, and I've only been sitting here like maybe 20 minutes to make the adjustment. The adjustment is now made. I'm back on autopilot. I will have this complete on today by this evening. No doubt in my mind. It's going very, very fast. And it should for you too, depending on how quickly you crochet. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I apologize in advance for the corrections, but I just didn't know because this was the first time that I've ever worked with any of these yarns, with the exception of the DIY Glow. Now, another thing, in the original video, I do not say how much yarn that we need. And the reason is that because I did not know. And we had all guesstimated that we would need at least 3 balls of the watermelon, the Caron All Day Cotton color watermelon. We guesstimated 3 balls. You're actually only going to need, well, now that I've made this adjustment, we still might need 3 balls of it. So we're straight on that. But for the first bag, it only took 2.5. But I can see with the adjustment where we may go a little bit further with the carry-on watermelon. Now, where there was a change, and what did I do with it? Oh, it fell way over there. There was a change with the loops and thread, the darker green. There will be no change with the lighter green, and no change with the white that you use. But with the darker green, adding those 5 rows with the when I did the 14 rows initially, it did not take a full ball of that. But after adding the 5 rows, I did go into the second ball for 2 rows. So just know you're going to need just a little bit more than 1 ball. So I hope you bought an extra ball of the, I don't know if you used loops and threads yourself or any green, that the darker green. I think we did say to get 2 balls to be on the safe side, because you always want to get more. And as crocheters, you know that you want more. It's always better to have more than not enough. Otherwise, you might find yourself playing the yarn chicken game, okay? Bop, bop. But anyway, and speaking of yarn chickens, y'all, here I go off base again. I lost my yarn chicken that was on my bag trying to show off. When I went out of town, I decided to pin the yarn chicken on the outside of my crochet bag so that everyone could see it, of course, because I'm showing off. Couldn't find the yarn chicken. I was like, Lord, I done lost it. And I only had 1 left, because y'all know I did the giveaway where I gave away, I think, 2 yarn chickens, and then I gave another one away recently because I had a total of like 5. So I had that one on my bag and I had only 1 left. And I was like, oh, Lord, I done lost my yarn chicken. I didn't discover that until after I got home. So I took a long shot and I called my sister. And I was like, Sherry, please look in your vehicle because I lost my yarn chicken. And I said, and it's killing me, the fact that I lost it. I said, it's probably gone forever. It's probably in my cousin's yard somewhere, you know. Guess what? Sherry was like, oh, she was like, I found a button that has a chicken on it. I was wondering what please bring it. She was like, now there wasn't a back to it. I said, I don't care about the back. I can always get a back to it. You know, I have plenty of those. I wanted my button, so my sister has it safely tucked away in her purse until we see each other again. Thank God the yarn chicken was found, y'all. Okay, so anyway, back to the story. Let me get off of here because this went into 12 minutes. Okay, you guys, so remember, do not decrease and add 5 extra rows to the base. That's it. Goodbye. That should have took 2 minutes to say, huh? Talk to you later, and may God bless you all. I will see you on Monday during the video. This is Future Q over and out. Bye.